Hello, my good friends. I'm Julia Katsivo. I am a business coach and I help entrepreneurs just like you refine your niche and tighten up your marketing. Because if you don't know who your target market is, your marketing plan will fail. Now, I'm doing a 4-part series, and we started this yesterday, in which I'm looking at my group of people and a very specific number of people who are looking at the holidays. They're coming up. They're very excited to spend time with their family and friends, but at the same time, they wouldn't mind growing their business just a little bit, just a little bit. They wouldn't mind doing that. And so I'm here today. Today, we're doing 4 different parts looking at how you can get both things done, where you can still spend time with your family and friends and still grow your business. And I thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being here with me during this noon hour in Toronto, Canada. That's where I'm broadcasting from. Today, we're going to talk about how to be productive versus busy. Now, I'm sure, we're in the technology age. You've seen a lot of literature out there, videos, webinars, whatnot, that tell you that being busy and being productive are 2 separate things. Well, I'll tell you the value of being productive around this time in the holidays. It's all about setting an intention for how you're going to use your time. Now, this is the thing. A little over 10 years ago, I used to have a 3-hour commute to my day job. So 1.5 hours going in, 1.5 hours going back. It was very tiring. And like most of you out there. And what I used to do with those 3 hours is that's when I would listen to my audiobooks. So that's a version of being productive during that time. Now, what did I do before that? Before that, time was not of the essence to me. And so I had goals and I had dreams that I wanted to pursue. But you know what I used to do in my commute time? I used to spend my time thinking about how life was unfair. If I only had an extra bit of more money, if I just had more time, if I have the right connections, if I knew who to talk to, if I knew where to go, if I knew what to do, and I'm at my destination. That is being very busy, but it's not productive. It did absolutely nothing for me. And that's what I find with a lot of people. A lot of people who have goals, who have dreams, they want to get somewhere, they want to start their business because it's through their business that they're going to live out their dreams. And when I ask them what they do with the time that they do have, they say, first of all, I don't have enough time. You don't understand, Julia. I work and I have a family and I'm very busy. I'm very busy. Okay, that's fine. But you do commute to work. What do you do with that time? Like, I just daydream, right? And listen to the music and watch the traffic. That's not productive. You've got to be very intentional with your time. Now, also when I had a day job, the times that I had available to me to work on my business were my 15-minute breaks and my half-hour lunch. And I've said this to a ton of people, and some of them get it, and a lot of people did not. But I used to use my breaks to work on my business. During those 15-minute breaks and that half-hour lunch, that's when I would pick up the phone to make a call, or that's when I would send out emails, or that's when I would respond, or that's when I would make a connection. To me, that was very precious time that I could use on my business. And it made me feel really good because by the time I got home at the end of the day, I had a chance to do the things that I wanted to do. Now, when that was not enough, what did I do? I got up half an hour earlier than I fell asleep. And, it got to the point where I used to get up every day at 4 in the morning so that I could work on my business until 7. Then I would start getting ready to go to work. And for a lot of people, that's just too painful to realize. But this is the thing. I knew that I was doing this not for the long haul. I knew that I was doing this in the interim to allow me to get to the place where I could then not have to do that. And again, yesterday we touched on the idea of people looking at the work that they have to do, looking at the process and the things that they have to go through so that they get their results, and that's what stops them from doing anything at all. Well, look at the results, and that's what I would do. So when I would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I had gone to bed at midnight the night before, and I'll think to myself, well, I want to go back and sleep. Well, I'd ask myself, but what's going to happen? Like, what's this going to look like for you at the end of the day when you get this done? Or what's this going to look like at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year? And by golly, I would not be sitting here today if it had not been for those days, for those moments when I looked around at the world that was playing and I said, I'm going to take this time and buy back my time. So it's being very intentional about how you use your time. I know people who can do a ton of work in 1 hour, and I also know people who have several hours, even a whole day, and absolutely nothing is done. There's something precious about not having time. It forces you to really buckle down on it. You know, if you knew that you had every day from now on to go do whatever it is that you wanted to do, a lot of people wouldn't know where to start. It doesn't matter that they said, you know, oh, if I could just leave this job, if I won the lottery, this is what I would do, and they write this big long list. If it happened, if they got that message that said, here's the money, here's the time, go, they would sit frozen. They wouldn't know what to do. They absolutely wouldn't know what to do. And again, that's the difference between planning and dreaming about what it is that you want, but then actually not thinking through the actual steps. What would happen if you won $1 million? What would you do with that money first? And to whom? And how? And why? Why do you want $1 million? Those kinds of questions. So this is being very, very intentional. And that's the key, really, is deciding what's important and then the steps to take to achieve it. Now, yesterday I had you work on an exercise in which I asked you to take a blank piece of paper and to write at the very top the one thing, one out of all the millions of things you can accomplish, the one thing that you would like to see done in your business by the end of 2018. And I know we have lots of dreams and wishes, folks. I understand. I really do. But I'd like you to pick one thing out of all of them. So maybe you wanted to add 10 more clients. How about if you just write one? Write the one thing that you know you absolutely would be ecstatic about if you achieved that by the end of 2018. And that is the goal that we're looking at in this week as we go through how you can still achieve your goals and how this is going to allow you to have the best time with yourself, your family, and your friends. So when we look at that one goal that we wrote out yesterday, you want to break down the steps to achieve it. What is it going to take for you to achieve that goal? How many people do you have to reach out and speak with to achieve that goal? How many connections do you need to make? Who do you need to call? Who do you need to visit? What do you need to do to achieve that goal? And then look at the calendar and look at the weeks that you have remaining until the end of the year, taking into consideration, family, holiday, and some time off to just relax. And then calculate that amount of time in with the steps. And the idea here is to use your time intentionally. So if you only have half an hour or an hour to work on your business, before that time reaches, let's say you have half an hour to work on your business tomorrow, you want to decide today what you want to accomplish tomorrow. A lot of people wait until the moment to decide what that moment is going to be. So for example, people will wait until tomorrow and then they'll sit down and say, okay, I have 1 hour only. What am I going to do? Well, 15 minutes goes by. What am I going to do? Another 10 minutes goes by. Maybe I should see if I can reach out to people on Facebook. 30 minutes goes by, nothing was done. But if you think to yourself, I have 1 hour to do this tomorrow, 1 hour to get really intentional and really focus on my work, decide today what you're going to do with that 1 hour tomorrow, and then write it down. This is the goal, this is the objective, and these are the steps that I'm going to take. And this is what you're going to find. When the time comes, your mind is already prepared and you're physically also prepared. Toward that 1 hour, you'll find that you're clearing out space, that you're putting your phone on silent, that you're actually getting into that place that says, I have this 1 hour coming up. I'm very excited because this is what I am going to do. The mind loves knowing what it is to do. It's a machine that takes and processes instructions. And you'll find that when you sit down for that half hour, that 1 hour, you're going to do so much productive work. It's as though you worked for that week and you've created work for the month. And that's what helped me when I would take my commutes and I'd listen to the audiobooks or I would do some work. I would decide the night before or the day before what I was going to do with my time. I would say, okay, Julia, we have an hour and a half commute tomorrow. Did you want to go through the process or through that book again? Did you want to pick up, where you left off with that article? Asking yourself what it is that you need to do and then carving up the time. And really what it boils down to is making this important, making this important. And again, how does this tie into the holidays? Well, if you do what you said you're going to do, you feel so much better about yourself. You feel so good. And when you're with your family and when you're with your friends, that part of your mind has got finished work. So you're not going to be thinking, well, I did say I was going to send out 10 emails and sort of just sitting here and we're watching TV and not doing anything. Maybe I could send out the emails, but I do feel guilty. You've done the work. You did what you said you would do in the time that you said you would do it. And now you can spend that time with your family and friends. Now I get it. You know, a lot of people during the family, they do a lot of hosting and they may not have that time available to them, or they're trying to juggle different calendars, especially if you have to travel maybe to a different state or country to visit different family and friends, and you really do want to get your work done, but you're trying to figure out, okay, but Julia, how exactly do I do this? How do I do this? Well, it's for that reason that I've cleared up my calendar, and I'll set up a few appointments for this week so that we can chat on the phone one-on-one. If this is you and you know you want to be highly productive with the time that you set aside to work on your business so that you can enjoy the time that you have with your family and friends, well, this free phone call is for you. Again, I love the free phone call because it's market research for me, and I get to speak with wonderful people like you. And in the call, what we do is we find out, we look at your schedule. We look at what it is that you're trying to accomplish, that one thing that we agreed you want to complete by the end of 2018, that one thing that will make your heart so happy. And then we look at what you have to do in the time that you have to work within it, and we'll set out a plan. I'll give you a plan so that you can follow it and start to see your goal coming true and start to feel a little bit more at ease with yourself and like, yes, 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 I can't control much, but this I can do. So I'm going to be posting the link for you to sign up to speak with me. Now we're only speaking this week. The next time I have appointments is in January, so please don't wait. Book your appointment with me and let's get on the phone and let's talk about what you're experiencing right now and what you want to see, and we'll take care of that. In the meantime, I did give you an exercise yesterday to pick your one thing. I'd like you to look at your calendar for today, and this is the exercise for today. And I want you to think about what you have to get done in the time that you have, and start breaking up that time. Start being very conscious about the literal amount of times that you have and what you can work with. Can you get up a little bit earlier? Can you sleep a little bit later? Can you have a working lunch? Can you take your 15-minute break and focus on your business instead? Are you willing to make any of these sacrifices? Tomorrow is part 3. And what are we doing tomorrow? We're doing some amazing things. One second, I'll let you know. Okay, maybe we'll keep it a surprise. No, tomorrow is part 3, and I'm going to show you how to really get that stress out of your time with your family and friends, and how the holiday season could actually be some of your best revenue generating months. Stay tuned, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a really good day, and thanks for joining me.